Yeah, I mean, this all form.
Yeah, me too.
I just want to say that there's all forms of recovery, and that's what we do here too. Is that we don't bash any other form of recovery. It's for each individual experience.
Yeah.
So that
Honestly, I'm
I
not.
so yeah, no, I just it seemed like a little bit of it. I mean, everybody has their own way, and it's
Yeah.
not for everybody. But there are people that find very great success in AA as well.
I
So
went to AA for 15 years.
and there's certain things about every program that you can find you could use in your own life.
So, to recap, what is the major difference between A and SMART? Do you want to talk about it or? That's a good topic.
Not really.
Okay, so AA is about powerlessness. You're powerless over certain habit or certain behavior or situation, person, people, things, right? So the theme there is we are powerless and somebody higher or some other thing you get to cope, which is another strategy. For some people it will work. In SMART, it's about power of choice. So that word itself is different. You're not powerless. You have a choice. So by making a choice, you get the power. How do you get the power? Is understanding. That's one of the things we teach is called thinking for a change, where we just give three skill sets, right? Like the three skill sets, or I'm thinking this, but I'm gonna ask somebody else. I'm thinking this. That's the social skill. I'm thinking this. What do you think? The social skills. You ask for help, and then the problem solving skills is my thinking is this. Socially, I asked for help, and they said this. Between those two, what is my power of choice? And you make choice based on what is the outcome you want. And we have another thing called cost benefit analysis. Okay, I'm going to do it my way. Let's weigh what is the pros and cons. What is the good thing about doing it my way, bad thing, and what is the price I'll pay. Versus, I'm going to ask another person, they're going to think a certain way, they're going to tell me something, and by doing that their way, what is the pro, what is the con. So it's like very easy, like a little kid, like in the kindergarten, going back to basics. But it's not like patronizing either. We don't say, okay, you are not capable of making those judgments. But I feel every problem starts in thinking. They call it stinking thinking. Because we feel we have no other solution to this problem. But what if there's somebody else who's done it differently? They give you another perspective, right? People who give you another perspective shifts your thinking. So that's why many things, there is a saying I was saying last week, people who created new solutions created in such a way the original problem became obsolete. That's how the world evolved, right? Like you had a problem with communication. Now with the internet, that older problem of dialing a phone, calling a person is obsolete because you have instant text messaging. Bing, you got done your communicated what you needed to do, and your answer probably will take time. So the world is going at a pace that's really fast. So I feel if we stuck in our way of thinking, we're not going to go ahead. So that being the conversation, what I want to do is um, create a quick chat, which actually online also I posted. I'm following like the spiritual teachings, okay? And I'm trying to make it practical because the spiritual teaching, it feels like way out there. You cannot really understand, hey, what the heck is this priest or the preacher or the monk is saying? It feels like outlandish. It's not practical. How does it apply to me? So one of the series I'm doing is called Scriptures to Practice. That is, what's out there, the big picture, but versus how do I make it work for me? Okay. So the theme I'm going to pick is called, it's like a four formula truth. It's like how our truth can influence the way we live. And the topic the monk chose is called Win the Game of Life. And mine is modified version of Win the Game of Life, but to make it more practical. Okay, so I'm going to recreate the same thing he said, and I'm going to post. If you guys want to go on my communication network whichever way you want to communicate. I can send you the link, the original video, so that you'll understand where I picked this from. Because it's kind of plagiarism. I'm kind of using his topic, but I'm paraphrasing it. Okay, so he says there are four things you need to understand. One is the inner image, the four words he uses, outer image, other image, life image. That's all. Four English words he says. So I'm going to paraphrase it. The four things we need to understand: inner truth, outer, outer projection of the truth, and then others' expectation of our truth, and then how the life we need it to evolve into. Okay, this is the way I hear it, but I'm sure he says it in another way. So inner truth is, let's say, you were brought up in a certain faith, whether it's a Christian, Muslim, Hindu, it doesn't matter. That's the way your core belief system. And people subconsciously choose a value system that they have a very, very heavy inclination towards. And they are so heavily influenced by their childhood, so we subconsciously make choices. We even brought up at the grape wine last week, where this guy says, I told him, what would you be as a plant? And he says, I'll be a grape plant because Jesus said, I will be the grapes and you are my vine. So even like simple things like a plant, we choose based on our faith, okay? So you can imagine every day the choices we make is because of subconscious belief system we have. And if we understand where our thinking is, we can tweak it. But what he says is if you live according to your inner value, you create peace. Which makes sense, right? Like it kind of makes sense that your inner reflection is what you live by. But he says the other side is society projects to be successful. You need to go to college, get a job, pay mortgage, live a American dream, right? So essentially, society expects you need to pay taxes, you need to make money, and you need to take care of your family, accountability and stuff. And to create that, you need to do the society rules, right? Go to college, do whatever it is. So that's outer projection of our life from the society. And if you live according to that, it creates success, right? It kind of makes sense because you are living up to the expectation of the society. So you create success. And that, if you are following that path, that's how it will show up in life. Then, if others imagine your life to be, like you feel success, the society has so many rules. I even tell them, I tell my patients, people are incarcerated. That doesn't mean God doesn't love you. Of course He loves you. Do you think He doesn't go to jail? Of course He goes to jail, right? So going to jail and getting into trouble, God is still loving you. Okay? It's only for society you need to follow these rules. Again, right? You don't want to break the rules because you don't want to be in jail. Because what society says is, you cannot engage with us anymore. We're going to split you and put you in isolation. You are being in quarantine in a zoo, in a human zoo, because you don't fit for the society. That is society way of dealing with the problem. But God says, hey, if you're in jail, I'm going to come and visit you there. If you're in home, I'm going to visit you there. So God has no barrier. So it's only for society we are following the rules. So feeling good and bad, again, is projection of somebody's good and bad. Okay, so you need to really understand, hey, I'm being good, but who is making those rules? You need to understand, right? So that is I've done that criteria for success. So you could be still successful being incarcerated. Fine. I'm thinking of Bobby. He's super happy doing what he's doing, breaking all the rules. But it's not for him. What I'm saying is it's for the society we are asking him to re-engage. That's all. The third thing is, the other image is somebody else is saying, only if you do this, I'll engage with you. We give them rules. Okay, you need to give up drinking. You need to give up drugs. Then only I will love you. Or let's say my husband says, you need to pay for the family finance to be stable, and that's the only reason I love you. He says when you meet those expectations, it means you love them. So that's the world way we are hearing it is somebody's controlling us. But what if the control is to set a boundary so we can engage with them in a way that's healthy, right? If you create that boundary in a healthy way and you are accepting those boundaries and staying engaged, that is love. Which is really very nice way of thinking about boundary. I was thinking. The final part, which is life images. Let's say your reality, you're living in a shack and you're like, have no money. But you wanted a mansion with a car, with a husband or a wife, and you drive up and down luxuriously. That's a conflict between what the reality is. Then it says that creates distraction. Your life image, if it is not your reality, it is destruction. And it says instead, if your projected image for the society aligns with life image, that's miracle. Which kind of made sense for me. So this is his topic, okay? So I'm going to wrap up. So now I'm going to go ahead and open the floor. So you guys think about like how you are understanding this, and let's hear your vision of how it plays in your life. Because I think it answered one of my questions personally. I had a conflict. I was going to work with Dr. Doe, remember? So my husband, I went and told him, hey, I think I'm going to increase Fridays to work with Dr. Doe. My husband, the first thing he says is, I need to know exactly whether you're putting away money for IRA. I cannot talk anything about it. So the way I heard him was, what is in it for me? He never said, I'm happy, you are happy. He only said, what is in it for me? That's what I heard. Maybe he didn't mean it that way. So after 2 days, I went and talked to him and I said, hey, what do you think? He was saying, this is what I heard. And then I also listened to this video by this teacher. And what I got was, what if I can give him that money and tell him that's the way I love you. Let me do it anyway. So I told him, I said that he says that's not what I told you. I was worried you were being taken advantage of because you're being like in many places and not paid. So he really wanted to make sure at least there is a little piece of it would be an anchoring. So I said that's fine. If that's the case, I'm willing to do that. And I told him I will do it for you. So in my mind, I already made up to do it because of the call. I'm thinking I will show him I love him by this way. Okay? But what I'm saying is it allowed me to look at the same problem another way instead of thinking he's needy, he's grabbing. He was genuinely interested in understanding whether I'm doing it the right way instead of just wasting time, sitting there not making money. So it solved my issue. So I'm going to open up to that. I want to know whether there is a way you're hearing it makes sense to you. Okay? So anybody wants, it is not a random order. Whoever wants to engage in this. We have lots of time. We have a half hour. You're thinking about it?
Yeah. I'm gonna engage. There's no doubt about that.
Do you want to go first, or you want somebody else to go first?
I'm just gonna take a minute. So
Okay.
if
You
any,
want to go? You want to go? Okay.
Actually, I'm not too sure what you want me to.
I'm asking you, does it make sense to you the way how you're living? First of all, I wanted to understand what is that I'm living. Am I living according to my values or am I fulfilling society needs?
I am living according to other people's needs.
So that's the first place to come to. Like, who are you? Who are you? Are you or are you another person, or are you being controlled? So
On
this.
some levels, on other levels, on an artistic level, I'm living according to what's inside of me. I paint.
Okay.
But on every other level, I'm kowtowing to what society, my psychiatrist, my husband, what everybody else wants me to do. That's the way I'm living.
So in artists, right, you have buckets, right? You have different colors. Sometimes you don't want to mix the colors. So think of it that way. Okay, let's go back to that place because as an artist, since it's you, it's creating your piece, right? So let's assume.
Yes.
So you have piece buckets.
Yes.
One piece bucket is red, one piece bucket is blue, one is green, one is yellow, whatever it is. And what I'm saying is, imagine in those 4 buckets, like what piece you're doing for society, and what color is it for you? Like it doesn't matter. Like I'm just thinking like an artist, and in that color, Are you successful? And if not, what can you do better? And then in control, let's say controlling, whatever color you want to call it, controlling is jealousy, right? Green is green is jealousy or something, right? So, I mean, that's a negative color, but like positive, you can keep it as like,
Yeah.
like being happy for others. Fine. So what I'm saying is go into that color and then say, okay, what am I doing it? And if I'm resenting, can I do it with love? See, the thing is, it's again about boundaries. It's not like they are doing it. So there are like validity. There is a little piece of truth in anybody, right? So you need to bring that piece that's working for you. Let go of the piece that's not working. Okay, so focus on the one that's working and make it grow. Yes, but the thing is, first you need even attention. When you need to focus, right? So if you don't understand, you're going to be lost.
You know, the good thing about the painting is that it's Chinese brush painting, and my teacher is an older Chinese gentleman, and he like tells us the meaning of life when we're painting. You know, I mean, it's really cool. So if I can draw on that more into how I live the rest of my life, I think that would be really
So
cool.
why don't you expand on it? Like think about this whole your life as a paint. Bring it back to your artistic canvas and figure out what you're doing at what level. What are you doing for society? What are you doing for others, to please others? And what would your projection of life should be? And is there a way you can move it along to bring you peace? So is there something you can share about that, or you have to think about it?
I gotta think about that one.
That's real tough. On this level, inner and outer, unless you're going to move into the mountains, you have to conform to society. So
Okay.
there has to be social, what would be norm or acceptable social behavior, unless you're going to move into the sticks where there's nobody. And it's certainly a right of yours to move away from society in general, but that's what you'd need to do in order to not conform to society and social expectations. It's no different than swearing or anything. I mean, we learn to curb what we want to say or what's going to naturally come out so that society can accept that we're here in this room, for instance. We're in a public place. You have to kind of maintain some kind of rules.
So let me paraphrase. So you feel fitting into society is a priority for you, right?
No,
In
that's everybody. It's a social expectation. If you don't, then, I mean, like I said, you have an option. You can go where there's no society. But if you're going to blend in with society, you need to conform to society's expectations.
See, there is a little thinking that is valid. The valid part is yes, we need to fit into society, but that's remember, we cannot control another person. That's your expectation, meaning like it's where you're coming from. But at the same time, somebody else might have a different rules. They don't care about society and they're going to live from their inside. So we cannot tell people where they are at, but like we can always express how we feel. So I feel society is a priority for me and people who I surround myself with. That is fine, right? Like your group you engage with, you create a norm that they engage in a way the society will approve, right? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that you have to in order to be part of society. You can't
That's right.
not. Like, you don't have to participate
Yes.
in society if you don't want to. That's by choice.
Yes.
But if you choose to, then
Yes.
you do have to. Like, I mean, if like you have to wear clothes, for instance, right? I mean, if you didn't wear clothes, just because you choose to, you would be in jail.
That's right.
Like, because society says, no, you can't just run around naked even if you want to. So, I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying,
yeah.
but it's like too...
See, you don't want to make it too general. The thing is, it's all about us, right?
Oh,
So what I'm saying
well,
is,
I'm
it's
just saying.
your decisions is mostly based on success in society. Is that a fair statement?
I suppose.
Okay, but are you happy doing all that time?
If I weren't, I'd move to the mountains or the woods where I didn't have to
you
deal
are
with society.
saying by doing that you are happy. Some people can do that but not be happy. So It's only when you're in balance, there is no problem. If you're engaging with the society and you're very, very happy with yourself, no problem. It's only people who are miserable inside, thinking they are meeting society needs. Like she was saying, she was not happy, right? Like, is that what you're saying? So what is? So that's what I'm trying to derive at is, what is your motivation, and is it in conflict with what you want to do? That's all. So bottom line is, am I doing everything I want to do, or is there one piece I'm not honoring? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because that's why every Wednesday I go away. I be myself because I want to be alone. But I cannot do that every other day. So I engage with myself for 2 hours. So I give myself a time break, right? Every Wednesday I do a relaxation Wednesday. Even though, like, I have like a million things going on, I give myself a break. That's because it's very important for me to honor myself. But at the same time, I do want to engage with society. That's like my passion. My passion is to work with people and, like, talk all the time. And God has given me a job that I can talk non-stop. So I'm good with that too. But what I'm saying is, if you don't take care of yourself inside, you're going to be lost. And I don't want anybody to be lost. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I am trying to say. Are you happy? If you're happy, I'm super happy. If you're not happy, what can we do? One thing to be happy. Are you happy? No. So what makes you not happy?
Today or in my entire life?
Entire life.
Then I'm happy.
Today is the only day you're not happy.
Or maybe this week.
This week.
Who
Because of
knows?
what?
Just because of dealing with people.
Okay. You felt disappointed by somebody.
Everybody, actually.
So what can we do to create
Nothing, because then
happiness?
people would have to conform to what they want to do to make me happy.
That's right.
So that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
So that's
so
not.
see, the thing is, but you cannot control another person.
Yeah,
But the
I know.
only thing we can control is ourselves. There is a place in you don't feel honored. So I'm trying to figure out what is one way we can create that space. See, for me,
We can't create that space.
I created for me, like I said, I actually, today morning also I had an argument with my husband.
Yeah.
My husband, whenever I talk, he doesn't have time to listen to me. So he calls me and I said, in future I'll write to you. Because it's like the tone, when you talk, it's like rolling eyes, those all bothers me, I'm saying, in future, I said I would love to engage with you, but without emotion. So I said I'll write to you.
Yeah, well, then you can get
So
everything
he
out.
says, no, I have all the time, but just pay attention to which time zone I'm in, like whether I'm tired and I'm saying, is it always 100% the other way around? Like, can I never have a crappy mood? It's like, so I'm saying, why do you need to be good all the time? I feel I want to be a BITCH, once in a while. so I was pretty sick today morning, But then afterwards, it's just like the mind. I mean, one thing this teaches, it's called unclutching. He says, when a thought comes, he says, snap your finger 3 times. He says, that's all the thought is capable of staying. And he says, don't process it. And I'm going to try that because I think that makes it
That's a
easier
good
for me.
idea. I like that.
Snap. Get out
Send
of
it
my
the other
head.
way. Bad egg.
I have so many bad eggs.
Bad egg. Good thing. Good
I
thing.
like that.
So that's what I do. So you understand kind of what I'm trying to say. So, hey, how are you?
Good, how about you?
Good. So you want to say, what is your major decision based on? Is it inner or outer? That's all I'm trying to figure out. And who are you? I'm trying to figure out who are you? What is you? Huh?
Me too.
So you have to start the journey somewhere. So first, think what is important to you, inside or outside, because that will create some sort of a trail start point for you. You can put blue mark. I'm starting my trail.
Sometimes what's inside is a bad choice. So then I reach out and I say, well, what do they want me to do?
Okay, so
And
now
that's-
again we have to paraphrase. The reason you're saying inside is a bad choice is somebody's judging there. Who's judging there? Your mom, dad, who's making it good or bad?
Yeah, but that's not necessarily it. It couldn't just be one person. It could be all of
See,
society.
the thing is, you are living inside you, but you're housing somebody else. So I'm trying to figure out who's inside renting.
Yeah, but it's not. You're not exactly housing somebody else. You're housing yourself. You live inside.
So it's your
yourself.
consciousness that says it's good or bad? Okay.
But there's a consciousness inside you that sometimes snaps in and tells you, okay, this is right or this isn't right.
Okay.
But if you look at it, what exactly is right and what's wrong? Is it moral code or is it society's code?
That's
You
what
gotta,
I.
you gotta really like think about it. You gotta. A lot of times, you're gonna have to go with society's code over moral code.
So that's exactly
No,
what David
well,
was
no,
saying.
because it all comes down to morals, right? No matter what, it all comes down to morals.
It does.
Society is based on morals. Social acceptance is based on morals. So, and the fact that we know right from wrong at the age of frickin' 5 or 6 years old, we learn right from wrong. Then from that point on, we know what's right and wrong. Society, saying, if you decided to swear today, up and down, constantly, that's not accepted by society, right? But morally, is it harmful? No.
No.
So then you should be able to swear if you want. That's more like something that's social acceptance that you don't have to allow.
I get that. There's also things and times that, like, morally, I want to do something, or even help somebody do something nice. But in society, it would still be considered random. It's like so many people won't just go out and help that random person.
Nobody considers it wrong to help somebody, though.
Keep their head straight and they won't even know. No, it's not wrong. But some people would say that what they do to help them is wrong.
Well, that depends on what we're talking about. Again, if you had to rob a bank to help somebody, then that's wrong. You know?
But what if morally and physically you needed that money?
What are morals to you?
Okay, but if you think about it, right? Morally, whatever. You're gonna do whatever you gotta do to support, like you just said, robbing the banks for somebody else. Morally, you wanna do what you wanna do to support your family or your friends or whatever. You're gonna do whatever you have to do to help them.
The same morals would prevent you from robbing a bank.
Understandable. But those same morals could also push you to rob.
No, because morals, that's it. See,
Society. Morally, you're doing this. You're doing what you gotta do to take care of your family.
Morals are
Society's gonna
concrete
tell you
evidence.
that is wrong.
Morals are concrete evidence of right and wrong. So that means you know if it's wrong, then it's wrong. You can't. There's other ways.
So
See,
maybe
the
not
thing is-
exactly robbing the bank. Okay. What if, say, there's a public garden and you go into the public garden and you fucking take some vegetables to go home and feed your family?
The thing is,
Technically,
see,
it's considered stealing, but it's a public garden.
Derek, there is
And
an
you're doing it
ancient
to feed your
truth.
family.
Derek, there is an ancient truth that says no matter what the situation is, you need to understand what is legally correct, balance it with what is morally fair. That's why we have judge and jury system. But taking something with permission is okay. So the first thing you need to do is ask for permission. That's all. Nobody is saying don't do it.
To ask.
Huh?
What if there's nobody to ask?
You have to figure it out. That's why, you need to understand who is it. You need to maybe, you need to understand, what is the norm for that place. And, that's why, remember the Beauty and the Beast? She goes and she plucks a rose without asking, right? And then she ends up staying with the beast. So what I'm saying is, if you do a crime, do the time. Okay, that's kind of like the norm for the society. But the thing is, judgment-wise, you need to understand there are laws you cannot violate. But if you're willing to pay the price, then do it. Be happy. It's all about inside. Are you happy no matter what the consequences? Are you willing to take the consequence? Do it your way. If you don't want to take the consequence, do it the other way. So if you base your actions on consequence, you're doing society. Remember, it's outer image, right? So that is what is driving you. So what I'm asking is that what you're going by? We're trying to figure out who are you. So it looks like most of your engagement is based on outer image, right? Is that a fair statement? So So how can we balance so that you can also find a piece of you inside that you can be happy with?
We're all trying to figure out.
Okay, so that might be the one homework, you know. What is one thing you can do every week to make you feel like you are doing the right things? You know, and so you want to do next?
What are you doing there, Derek?
Is paint.
That looks like something that's one thing inside that you might have.
Tattoo?
That,
I did that yesterday.
so there's
That's
one thing.
exactly like painting for him.
Yeah.
Right? So both of them are artists.
Yeah, and there's one thing inside of him that he wants. That's right from inside directly. You can see.
Maybe that's
Passion.
why he's a tattoo artist. Maybe that's what brings it out.
Yeah.
I started out darker and then come to lighter, and I didn't like the way that I had done it, so I had to break it over to match my full.
Maybe that's what drives your tattoo field,
I-
you know?
Well,
It could make
I
sense.
brought it up because she's talking about something that's in her. He's not here.
That's okay. So what do you want to say?
What I want to say is that sometimes my choice is
Bad because in your past, see, you're basing your choice being good and bad because of your past experience. You used it before and the outcome you didn't like. Okay.
very bad outcome. And in that particular instance, I rely on the strength of others.
Okay, so it's social skills. That's what we were talking about. So your thinking got you into trouble. So you're using somebody else's thinking to understand how to deal with it. So that's a good place. So you're focusing on social skills,
Yeah.
but you on the inside you know what the truth is.
Oh yeah.
You have a picture because you're an artist. You have a visual memory. But when it is worked out, you haven't found the right path to get the outcome. So you're working on your feet, but you're navigating your trail. You're still working on your trail. So that's a nice way, to recap. Right? So what can we do for homework next week? This is a nice topic.
Do you guys always meet here?
On Fridays.
Okay.
And then Tuesday night David runs the meeting for us. And if you want to come, it is in 40 minutes.
Yeah, the problem is I can't drive at night. I have really bad vision.
Because some people don't make it for morning meetings. So we try
Yeah,
to
this
do.
is perfect.
So we like to have coffee, we have fun.
Yeah.
So we just engage.
Breaks it up a little too,
Yeah.
So that's nice. So next
From the
week-
usual basement meeting,
Exactly.
They all seem to be in a basement.
They are.
Breaks it up a little, yeah.
We have met some real nice people here too. I learned a lot by doing the meeting.
I've noticed though, a lot of people don't continuously come to this.
Yes. Why?
They'll come and then they'll leave. Like one week it'll be, 5 or 6 people, and then the next week it'll be, you 2 and me, and then one other person like this. And then it'll be another 2 new people, and then it'll be, whatever.
Yeah, and that's the people that are choosing not to walk forward,
I
but
think
backward.
sometimes it's curiosity. They are just auditing, like you are auditing the meeting, right? Like so, they haven't made the commitment. It's like dating versus marriage. It's like it's one night stand. So we end up being like a brief attraction. We are able to keep them stable, but that's okay. I think once we build, trees, we are still in infancy, so to speak. But I think we will get there. Already we are. I'm so glad. So what do you? So we will recap. Our main theme was what is driving. So this, if we consciously understand where we plug in these 4 areas. If we are miserable, remember we are doing life image. We are not accepting reality. So the reason we are not accepting reality is our world to be perfect. We want it to be a different image. Think of it as a painting, whereas you have drawn like little squiggles in the middle, you are not liking the painting the way it came out. So don't make it emotional. Like, one of the things I tell people is don't do mental currency, no physical currency, no emotional currency. Don't waste money. Okay? All these are money you're wasting. Okay? Emotional currency, like, that's what makes you cry. I hate tears. I feel it's not worth it. Nothing in this world is worth those tears. Okay? It can be saved for good things in life. So the only reason I will tell my husband, the only reason I cry nowadays is when people are very nice to me. I cannot bear it. Don't come to the. My husband says, "How come you're not crying anymore?" I said, "I'm so used to being treated like real bad.
Yeah.
It shocks me when somebody is nice to me."
Yeah.
So save those tears for good moments. Don't waste emotional currency. So if you think of it in skills, so inner skill, am I coming from my inner space, outer skill, am I living up to success words, or am I in control and can I replace it with love? If I can project that as my life, I wouldn't be wasting tears. So if we can even clean up our thinking, we would be peaceful. That's all I'm trying to get at. Okay? So would we keep that as our homework? Plug in like four squares and plug in where that situation falls. Would that be something?
I think I could take this time and maybe figure something out.
Can you do the same topic on Tuesday night, but your way?
I don't know. I guess it kind of depends on who's there.
It's okay. Talk to yourself, otherwise I'll put this live.
I think it depends on who's there, because sometimes if the topic comes up in our initial
Oh, I see.
introduction.
Okay, so they evolve it. Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine. Yeah, you want to play by who the audience is.
Sometimes it happens that way, like it'll be, how it goes. I mean, particularly everybody will introduce themselves and say, something about themselves, and sometimes that brings up the topic for the meeting, and also the homework.
Yes, and also smarts, they want us to pass the hat, like in church. If you're involved and if you really want to donate to us, you are very welcome to. And be part of our growth. I would love you to join us and build it. Definitely. So that'll be nice. So we want to grow it, that's all. And what is that you were saying? Homework, yeah, homework.
Oh yeah.
So
well,
what do you want? Do you want to dish out the homework for us?
Well, I don't think I can only, in my particular case, I'm only going to be able to do it once, because I think what I have to do is take my Sundays back. You said give yourself some time.
Very nice.
I want to try to restructure my Sundays so they're my days, and they're kind of being broken up a
So
lot
you
lately.
want to do the sabbatical Sunday?
Right. But just, myself and my wife. And
Nice.
That's it.
That's
So
good.
I'm going to make my Sunday. I'm only going to be able to do that once since before next week. But
That's good.
so I'm gonna try to do that.
Downtime. You're looking for downtime.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So I'm just trying to figure out if the situation that affects me, where I can plug it in. And one of the things I'm working is it's not like situation at home, but it's like something when it's not happy inside me. Where am I coming from? And what do I need to finish so I don't need to feel wounded inside? So that's what I'm like trying to heal that place in me that feels needy. And I have to figure out what is this that I need to work on. But that's Rafa Yoga was also closed last week.
Oh really?
So they were closed for construction, and that reminds me I really need to work on the steam room, because that's where I get my energization. So I feel I need to figure out where exactly is in that place that I feel I need more attention. That's what I'm gonna, like how you're saying downtime. I need to know why am I feeling like I need to be loved, why I'm not feeling enough, why I'm not enough. So I'm gonna work on that. What are you working on?
Probably more compassion for myself. Not so judgmental.
Nice.
I am my worst enemy. I beat myself up for everything. So I need to drop my real love and passion for myself, and to make relationships and not to make the wrong choices that are wrong because I know from experience.
So one of the things, like how I said, is whenever some judgmental thought comes in that makes you feel not loved, snap your fingers. 3.
That's the one. Yeah.
3.
I'm gonna
Gone.
try that. Yeah.
That's what I was doing yesterday. Anytime a thought like
Bad
that.
egg. That's
You're
what
going to
I,
be snapping all the time.
I'm gonna
that's
be.
what I pictured, bad egg, as soon as you said
I'll
it.
be at the store
Tickling.
snapping, you know.
So that's good. I actually, have you seen that? Have you seen that
That's
movie?
where I'm at my worst, is when I'm stuck in my own head.
So snap your fingers. Have you seen Cat in the Hat, Dr. Seuss, the movie? And here, like the thing 1 and thing 2, they'd be there. The kids, their mom will say, the dress, you better not do anything, otherwise, she'll snap her finger. So Dr. Seuss, not Dr. Seuss, the cat, right? The cat. The boy and the girl will say, "Oh my God, mom said otherwise." So the cat will snap his fingers. The minute she bought it, was ruined. Like he makes like a very, very funny statement. Have you seen that?
I believe so, yeah.
So the minute she was bought, it was ruined. But he says it in a word that I couldn't gather actually. But
I've only done 3 of these. I've only done 3 of these since I got
Derek, so your tool, you look like you are saying when you are thinking it's inside you that, what did you say? So maybe this is what, it looks like this is what it's
Jump out of your head.
This is a big I just found this a couple days ago, and it's really starting to help.
Nice. So that's good. So
Yeah, definitely.
okay, I'm gonna stop the. We did a 42-hour video. That's nice.
42
Yeah.
minute.
Here, you wanna say hi?
Is anybody there? Hi there.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna post this. So we'll end the session, and it will be uploaded. I'll post it on our Facebook page. So this is 42 minutes. But I think the audio is going to be crappy.
Yeah, with all the noise too.
Or at least